So, a 27-year-old who makes $2,400 a month thinks she's doing everything right, but she's only saving about $100. Where is all her money going? She sent me her entire budget, totally convinced she was being responsible, but I found one single expense that is costing her thousands a year and completely derailing her financial future. In this video, we're going to do a line-by-line breakdown of her entire financial life. We'll find the money leaks, we'll identify the huge problem she's completely ignoring, and we'll create a brand new plan that could take her from saving almost nothing to banking over $5,000 a year. So the person who sent me their finances, I am going to call her Sarah. Sarah is 27 years old. She lives in Antwerp. She works as a marketing coordinator and she considers herself pretty good with money. Now, I want to say up front, I am not here to judge Sarah. I am here to help her. And honestly, some of what she sent me is actually really solid. But there are also a few things that made me raise an eyebrow. So let's get into it. Sarah earns a net salary of €2,400 per month. That is her take-home after taxes and social security contributions. For a 27-year-old in Belgium, that is a decent starting point. Not enormous, but workable. She also gets meal vouchers through her employer, €8 per working day, which she uses for her groceries. That works out to roughly €160 per month in meal vouchers. So in total, Sarah has about €2,560 worth of purchasing power every month. Now let's look at what she does with it. First, her rent. Sarah rents a one-bedroom apartment in Antwerp city centre for €950 per month. That includes her utilities. Now, Antwerp is not cheap. Rents here have gone up a lot in recent years, and €950 for a one-bedroom with utilities included is actually on the reasonable side for the area, so no complaints there. That is a good deal and she should hold on to it. Next, her car. And this is where it starts to get interesting. Sarah has a car loan on a 2022 Volkswagen Golf. Her monthly car loan repayment is €320. On top of that, she pays €130 per month for her car insurance. That brings her total monthly car cost to €450 per month. And that is before we even talk about fuel, parking, and maintenance. Now, I want to stop here and ask you, the people watching this, do you think €450 a month for a car is reasonable on a €2,400 net salary? Drop your answer in the comments. Because I have an opinion about this and I will share it in a moment. She also pays €45 for her mobile phone plan and €60 per month in subscriptions, Netflix, Spotify, a gym membership she says she uses sometimes. So her total fixed costs come to €1,505 per month. That leaves Sarah with around €1,055 for the rest of the month when you include her meal vouchers. Now let's look at how she spends the rest. Groceries. Sarah spends about €200 per month in cash on food on top of her meal vouchers. That seems reasonable. Going out, restaurants, drinks, weekends away. Sarah spends around €300 per month on lifestyle. That includes dinners with friends, a few weekends in Brussels or Ghent, and the occasional concert or event. She also spends about €150 per month on clothes, home items, and what she calls random things. And finally, savings. Sarah saves €100 per month. That is it, €100. Alright, let's start with the positives because Sarah is doing a few things right. Number one, her rent is under control. The general rule of thumb is that your housing costs should not exceed 30% of your net income. Sarah is a little above that, but because utilities are included, it is still acceptable. And in Antwerp, she is genuinely getting a fair deal. Number two, she is saving something. €100 a month is not a lot, I will say that, but the habit is there, and that matters. A lot of people at 27 are saving nothing at all, so Sarah is at least in the game. Number three, she is using her meal vouchers properly. She is using them for groceries, which is exactly what they are for. A lot of people either forget to use them or use them inefficiently. Sarah is not one of those people. Now, the honest part. Problem number 1, the car. I said I would come back to this, so here we are. Sarah is paying 450 euros per month for her car on a 2,400 euro net salary. That is almost 19% of her income going to one depreciating asset. That is too much. The general advice is that your total transportation costs should not exceed 15% of your net income. For Sarah, that would be 360 euros. She is already over that before we even count fuel. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but Hawa, Belgium has public transport. Why does she even have a car? And that is a fair question. Sarah told me she needs the car because she sometimes visits clients outside the city. But she also told me she drives the car mostly on weekends. So here is my question to you watching. Do you think Sarah should keep her car, or should she look for a cheaper solution? Leave it in the comments because I would genuinely like to know what you think. My advice to Sarah, look into whether your employer offers a mobility budget or a company car option, because as a marketing coordinator with client visits, you may qualify. If not, when this car loan ends, do not finance another new car. Go for something second-hand and fully owned. Problem number 2, the savings rate. 100 euros out of 2,400 is a 4% savings rate. That is not a savings rate, that is a rounding error. Sarah, at 27, should be aiming to save at least 20% of her income. That is 480 euros per month. I know that feels like a big jump, but let me show you where the money is hiding. The gym membership she uses sometimes, let's say that is 30 euros per month. Cancel it or switch to a cheaper option. That is 360 euros a year back in her pocket. The 150 euros she spends on random things, if she cuts that by half and sets a 75 euro monthly limit, that is another 75 euros per month saved. The going out budget of 300 euros, if she brings it down to 200, that is another 100 euros freed up. Just those 3 changes bring her from saving 100 to saving 375 euros per month, and that is without touching anything else. Problem number 3, no investments and no pension savings account. Belgium has what we call a pension savings account, pensionssparen. You can contribute up to 1,020 euros per year and get a 30% tax reduction on that amount. That means the government gives you back up to 306 euros in tax savings every single year. Sarah is not using this. That is free money she is walking away from. On top of that, at 27, Sarah has time on her side. If she started investing even 200 euros a month into a broad index fund and kept that going for 30 years, she would have a very different retirement than if she keeps doing what she is doing now. So here is what I would tell Sarah to do right now. In this order. Step 1. Open a pension savings account this year and contribute the maximum 1,020 euros before the end of the year. You will get 306 euros back in tax savings. That is your first investment. Step 2. Cancel or reduce the subscriptions you are not using fully. That gym membership needs a decision. You either go or you cancel it. Step 3. Set a hard monthly limit on your credit card for shopping. 75 euros maximum, no exceptions. Step 4. Bring your going out budget from 300 to 200 euros. You can still have a life. You just need a little more intention around it. Step 5. Take the money you free up and automate it. Set up an automatic transfer on payday so it moves to a separate account before you can spend it. You cannot spend what you do not see. Do those 5 things, Sarah, and you go from saving 100 euros a month to potentially 400 or more. And once you have 3 months of expenses saved as an emergency fund, start investing the rest. Okay, that is Sarah's finance breakdown. I want to know what you think. Was Sarah doing better or worse than you expected? And do you think she should keep the car? Let me know in the comments. Now, if you want me to go through your finances in the next episode of this series, send your story to richpocketspodcast@gmail.com. Tell me your income, your fixed costs, your savings, your debts, whatever you want me to look at. I will keep it fully anonymous and we will go through it together right here on this channel. If this video helped you, give it a like. It really does help this channel grow. Subscribe if you are not already. I will see you in the next one.